Snapchat was really big back then, and he had showed me his Snapchat, and he's like, hey, this guy who likes guys, which that's not a problem, is messaging me a lot. And I'm like, all you gotta do is block him. Like, well, why are you telling me this? One night I get up and I look at his phone and I see all these notifications from this man. And he had told me that he had blocked him a couple weeks before. I'm like, that's weird. I was married and divorced twice by the time I was 32. So here's a little story time on my two first terrible husbands. I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's your fault. You said yes, you got married. But for the most part, I'm not perfect, but these were not my fault. I just also recorded this video for 9.5 minutes and it deleted, so that's great. So first husband, gonna go really fast. I met him at a pizza shop when I was 17 years old. I had just graduated high school. He was 10 years older than me. He got a job delivering pizzas at nighttime. Couldn't stand him when I first met him. Everybody that lived in that pizza shop ended up moving into a big 2-story house and renting rooms. He ended up moving there as well. We ended up talking. You know how it goes. We ended up dating. We moved out. We were thriving, even though he was always abusive, pretty much since the time we moved out, verbally and physically. A little bit of a trigger warning.
Yeah, I hate to hear this type of stuff, man. 17, 27. Come on, guys.
We moved out. We got custody of his 2 kids who were 1 and 2 at the time. And my parents had divorced. My dad decided he wasn't going to talk to me for a couple years because he was really bitter and didn't have good coping skills. And so I feel like I might have gravitated towards this man because I was manipulated, and also probably because I was lacking that father figure.
I think so too, for sure.
So anyways, he was verbally and physically abusive. He told me who my friends were. I wasn't able to talk to my friends from high school. At this point, I was 18. We got married 6 months after I turned 18, and he told me what to wear. I had to wear shorts to my knees. I had to wear big old oversized t-shirts. Oddly enough, favorite things to wear now. So anyways, he was terrible. He was terrible to me. He was terrible to his kids. I wanted to leave for a really long time, and I didn't. I didn't leave for a long time because I didn't want to leave those kids. I loved them. And for several years, I just protected myself and protected these children, and finally got to the point where I was like, I can't stay here any longer. And so I told him, hey, you're so mean to me. I want a divorce. I want to leave. And he told me that if I left him, that he was going to do away with my mother. And I believed him, so I stayed. Unfortunately, a year later, my mother ended up passing away. And
he said that he was going to kill her mom if she leave him. I thought he was going to say, I'll kill myself. Man, that nigga would have been in jail.
Then about 6 months after that, I thought, what do I have to lose? And so I told him that I was leaving. Over the years, he did calm down. It more so was like throwing stuff in verbal rather than physical. Not that that's any better. I packed up my stuff and I went to my friend's house for a week. He came over. We were still talking during that week, and he's like, please, I love you. I'm sorry. I'll change this, that, and the other. Idiot me. Went back to the house. He took the kids to soccer practice, said, please.
They love to beg and plead when you about to leave them. Oh, please, you gonna leave me? They love to do that shit.
Be here when I come back. And I was looking around the house and I was like, this literally isn't my home. This is not where I need to be. This is not where I belong. So I packed my stuff up and I left again. This man went back to the house where I was at, and I drove a little sports car at the time. A little 2-door car, went fast. And he came to the house and he was acting really strange, like saying goodbye. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? And he got down, he brought his kids, gave them a hug and a kiss, and told them, when you don't have a dad, remember always in your heart that it was Amy's fault. He looked at me, looked at my keys that were on the counter, grabbed them, and took off running. I chased after him. We were at an apartment complex, and we were parked right next to each other. And I knew what he was going to do. He had thrown the keys to his truck, so I jumped in the truck, backed up, and kind of blocked him in from being able to get out of the parking spot. He jumped out of the car and somehow hit the window on the passenger side, and it fell off the track about halfway, and he flew into the car, or into the truck, grabbed the keys out of the ignition, and we played tug of war with him. I ended up with the little fob and he ended up with the keys. And so he then goes to the car and I get out and I'm like, what are you doing? Blah, 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 this, that, and the other. He gets in the car and he tries to get me in the car with him, and I am able to get his hand off of my shirt for lack of...
Where the kids at? Yo, this dude is crazy. They love to beg and plead and shit after you say you gonna leave, but they've been treating you wrong this whole time. Now you want to do something crazy. You could have just did right.
Better words, and get away. I call 911 and he does a 1,000-point turn out of this parking spot because he's blocked in and gets away. They pursue him down the street of our 6,000 people town. That's not right. 6,000 people lived in this town. Anyways, they chase him down Main Street about 140 miles an hour. He ends up on a back road, and his goal was, we know what his goal was. And he was on the phone with me, or leaving me a voicemail because I was on the phone with 911, and he essentially was going to put the telephone pole in the driver's seat. He was not wearing a seatbelt. He was leaving me a voicemail at the time telling me that he was going to haunt me in my dreams and all these terrible things. And I don't know if you know this, but telephone poles are meant to snap at high rates of speed. He thought that it was just going to be in there. And so what happened is he snapped the telephone pole and ended up rolling the car about 16 times. He was airlifted to the hospital with a broken spine, and the back of his head was smashed in. I go to the hospital, and he kind of had a crappy family, and he had 3 cousins. 2 of them did not like me the whole 5 years we were together. And the doctor comes out and says, hey, he's asking for Amy. And so I'm going back there, and the cousins are like, we want to go back there. And the doctor says, well, it's up to her. She's the wife. And me trying, be nice or whatever, I'm like, okay, yeah, go back there with me. And he is on the bed, covered in you-know-what, and he's got the thing on his neck. And I think he's going to tell me something like, I'm
looking like a motherfucking fool. Doing all of that shit. Looking fucking stupid in there with the thing on your neck. Y'all know how y'all see it in the movies? The motherfucker be in there with the cast on their neck. Looking like this. Nigga, you look stupid.
made a mistake or whatever there is to tell me. And he says, I hope you know this is your fault. And his cousins look at me and they're...
You stupid ass nigga. This is your fault. See, they be trying to play motherfuckers, even the girls too, dealing with girls too, who be placing that, doing that suicide shit. Motherfucker be trying to make it seem like it's your fault that they about to do what they about to do. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm the type. Listen, don't play with me like that, cause listen. You do some shit to yourself, nigga, that's your fucking fault. I don't feel no type of way about a motherfucker that I ain't ever wanted to kill myself, nothing. I don't feel no type of way about you talking about somebody. This is your fault. Motherfucker, you just did that to yourself. How is that my fault? They can't play that shit with me.
Like, it is your fault. And start petting his arm. I'm an idiot, and I stuck around. He was transferred to a rehabilitation center after he had... That first night he had brain surgery to get this.
Nigga, I would have been in there. Nigga, look at your stupid ass. This is your fucking fault. Look at you, the nigga that's sitting there like this. I'd have been doing the movement and everything. Dumbass boy. Like, they be love to try to put shit on you because they killing they... No, nigga, this your fault. You fucked yourself up. Dumbass. I wouldn't even listen to that voicemail. You would have been... Nigga, as soon as that shit would have came on my phone, if he motherfucker really passed away, delete, nigga. Delete, nigga. You ain't even sure I have nothing on my conscience. I'm not listening to a motherfucking thing.
Skull out of there, and then like a week later he ended up having spinal surgery. He's paralyzed about this far above his belly button, so he can't like even sit up. He's transferred to a rehabilitation center to learn to live like that, and I go with him for about 2 months, and it's not any better. Let me use choice words so we don't get in trouble here. He took utensil out of the cafeteria and brought it back to the room that we were staying in. We had like a little private room, and tried to tell me to fix something, one of the cords that was on his bed or something, I don't know, and tried to get me. And that was the final straw. I left. He made my life a living hell, had his friends pop the tires to my car. Everybody was...
He did what? He brought a utensil, brought it back to the room, had her bend over, and he tried to do what?
Was really on his side for a long time. Eventually that all changed, and we all saw things for how they really were. And yeah, so to this day, he is paralyzed. To this day, I still talk to his children. And his daughter was actually the bridesmaid in my wedding to my current husband now. And he, I believe, she told me a couple months ago that he was actually arrested for domestic violence in his wheelchair. So I'm at 7 minutes. I'm going to try to squeeze in the second husband. I was single, I was doing my own thing, I was going to the gym, and I met a man. Apparently, he was a grade below me. I didn't know him. He had just gotten back from the military, and I think this was in 2011, maybe 2012, I don't know. And I had left the first husband in 2009. And so we start talking, I ask a few people about him, they're like, oh yeah, great guy, blah, 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 quiet guy, super nice. Everybody loves him. Dad loves him. At this point, Dad's back in my life. Mother's passed away. And everybody loves him.
Rest in peace to her mom.
We worked the same shift, morning shift. They needed him to work swing shift for a couple months because they were short-staffed. During that time, somebody introduced him into a white substance. He had never done anything like that before. I was unaware of it. He started coming home at like 2 in the morning instead of like 11:30 at night. And his behavior started to change. He was really aggressive. He was really mean. He was really moody. And I had talked to a couple friends about it. I'm like, maybe he has PTSD. So at this point, we're married. I'm trying to be a good wife and be understanding because I really don't know what's wrong with him. And so he's acting really outlandish and then having really odd behavior. And again, I'm going to tread lightly with my wording here. Snapchat was really big back then, and he had showed me his Snapchat, and he's like, hey, this guy who likes guys, which that's not a problem, is messaging me a lot. And I'm like, all you gotta do is block him. Like, well, why are you telling me this? One night I get up and I look at his phone and I see all these notifications from this man, and he had told me that he had blocked him a couple weeks before. I'm like, that's weird. Okay, so I woke up and there was all those notifications on his Snapchat, and I'm like, well, that's weird, but I try not to be that confrontational, and so I didn't say anything. This man's behavior got odd, really odd, and then he decided that that we wanted to try new things, if you know what I'm saying. And so he decided to take me to a store.
Swingers party.
And was going to buy things. And he kept gravitating to the section for things for the backyard.
Whoa!
And I thought it was odd. And he oddly bought that. The vibes changed. He started a huge argument, and that was the end of it, right? This thing is in his nightstand. Fast forward a week later, I think we were arguing, and he slept on the couch. I didn't have to work that day, and I ended up finding that thing and that packaging underneath the couch. So use your imagination what he was doing with himself. So anyways, really weird things. Why I ignored all of that and chose not to speak up, I don't know, because I'm trying not to be confrontational, guys. So he kept doing things like that. Ended up...
He was blowing himself out. Oh, shit. What the fuck, bro? I don't know what type of substance that was. That nigga started blowing himself out. Oh, shit. Using it on himself on the couch, bent over. That sounds crazy. Oh, my God. I thought he was such a nice guy. What the fuck? At least he ain't beating on her, though. Jeez.
Cheating on me. He ended up losing his job. Backtrack a tiny bit. I have always wanted to do good for myself. I had our credit. It was really good. I had him all signed up and ready to go to purchase a duplex with his VA loan, and then I was going to purchase another home. That way that we had technically had three homes, and then we would have, build something for ourselves, have a retirement, have an income when we're old. And I got a phone call from the financial guy, loan guy, and he's like, why did you take a loan out? And I'm like, I didn't take a loan out. And he's like, yes, you did. No, your husband did. He ended up taking 3 loans out to go fund the partying and do all the things and ruined it all. And obviously we all know if you're going to buy a home, you can't open a new credit or make big purchases like that or take a loan. And so he's doing all of that. I'm chasing this man around for like 2 years of my life, trying to get him into a rehab. I think that he's using this stuff as a coping mechanism, this, that, and the other, or whatnot. He's running around, he's cheating on me, and I decide I finally had enough. He didn't have anywhere to go. Idiot, I know. I let him sleep on my couch. So he stayed on my couch. He was having some money from disability. He was paying part of bills. And then he took off for like a month, and I didn't see him, which, whatever. And I had a really bad feeling. I feel like my intuition's really good. I can read people, maybe not back then. But I was at work, and I said, oh my God, I have to go home. Something's wrong. I go home, and his car is in the driveway. And my screen door is locked, which we never locked. And I unlocked the door, and we had a long hallway, and the living room was right in the front, and my bedroom was all the way to the left, and then across the hall was a room that I had converted into a closet room, like a closet vanity, trying to live my best life. And there was substances on my coffee table. I'm kind of paranoid, and I'm like, oh my God, is he done, And so I'm screaming and I'm yelling for him to come out of the room, and I start hearing all this shuffling around. This man was passed out on my bed, and there was 2 women in my closet room emptying everything that I owned. I had a lot of stuff in there, and they had
Damn, dude was strung out pretty bad, man.
apparently been there for a while and got a whole bunch of stuff and sold a whole bunch of stuff to acquire what. Went back to my house, did the stuff, and then were getting more of my things together to what they wanted to keep or what they wanted to sell for more money. I ended up, the cops came. They were absolutely terrible to me. They told me that it wasn't illegal for him to do those illegal things in my home, which is wild, and which I don't think that's right. I don't think that you can do drugs in your house. I don't know. But anyways, long story short, I end up kicking him out, and I'm done with him. I cut out a lot of details to this. That man really emotionally hurt me. I was with that man because I loved him and I wanted to be with him. I was with the first one because I was trapped and I was really young. But yeah, to this day, that man is still running amok. He has fathered a few children. He is in and out of jail. He is doing everything that he was doing back then, and it has never changed. But I have since moved about 3 hours away from that crap hole of a town, and I am living my best life, I promise you. I went to a therapist one time, and I was talking about these things, and she told me that I tell this story as if I'm talking about something that happened to somebody else rather than my own personal experiences. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but anyways, enjoy Trauma Dump Wednesday. One little tiny detail. So for about 16 months of this 3 years that I was running around trying to save this man from himself, I was in a tremendous amount of pain, and I didn't know why. I was in and out of the hospital, I was in and out of the emergency room, and turns out I had cancer. I was diagnosed with renal cell carcinoma, which is cancer of your kidney, right after I turned 30 years old. This was in 2017, and I ended up having to have my kidney removed, and so I am in the hospital fighting for my life, and this man is running around the town. But I swear I'm good, I'm thriving, I'm healthy, I'm far, far away from these people, so enjoy my Trauma Dump Wednesday.
All right, I'm glad she's doing much better now, man. The first situation, she definitely was trapped for sure. 17, 27, you know what I'm saying? And that dude was just, yo, man, y'all can't play that trick with me. Oh, you made me feel. No, motherfucker. If you do something to yourself, you did that shit to yourself. Do not put me in that. I didn't do anything to you. You see what I'm saying? And then you get in a she said he tried to do what in the wheelchair? He took what from downstairs? A knife and tried to do what? Like, come on, bro. Are you serious? I'm glad she left his ass where he at. Right, paralyzed in that wheelchair. You did this to yourself because the lady want to leave you after you done beat her ass and verbally and physically abused her. Like, that shit, like, and then you want to go crash your car to the motherfucking lightning pole. Well, you go do that then, and don't leave me no motherfucking voice message or nothing, nigga. Anyway, the second dude sound like a pretty decent dude. She didn't say anything was physical. He just got strung out. Like, I don't know, life. You know, you can meet one person, man. They can just turn your whole life around, get you on drugs, anything. You know what I'm saying? So he just unfortunately started doing coke or crack or some shit. I don't know what the fuck he started doing, but he definitely was strung out. But hopefully he get his life together. She say he's still doing the same shit, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what to say about the nigga in the wheelchair that's paralyzed. Like, bro, you did that shit to yourself, bro. Like, come on, man. But it do sound like that man, the first man too, didn't have a good like family support. You know, he remember he had to get his kids, and they had to adopt the kids. So it's like maybe his baby mamas probably wasn't shit. He just his family. She said his family wasn't shit. So you know, different stuff happening in people's lives, but man, you did that shit to yourself. Think about this, right? You done spent all this time abusing this lady, right? And then you fuck around and you fuck yourself up. And then you got the nerve to try to abuse, assault somebody else in the wheelchair. Man, that dude, wow. Hopefully he get his life together though. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. This seemed like a real nice lady, though. You know what I'm saying? God bless this lady. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully she find her somebody. If she hasn't already, find her somebody who gonna treat her right. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Ray Big Play. Y'all let me. And recipes to her mom too. It's your boy Ray Big Play. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to both Storytime channels. We still hustle daily, and we still hustle daily 2, the number 2. All right, tap in.